Hey, this is River King 6, and some lures we didn't cover in the first Bass Basics. So this is Bass Basics 2. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, first we're going to start with our hooks. Well, if you've seen the crappie video, it's the same big one, but it's about half the size of your finger, how long it's going to be. This is for your smaller, like, bluegill baits, when you're fishing for the smaller bass. Not really small, but, you know, like, maybe, like, 4-pounders. Okay, let's move on to the 1/0 hook. It's not a live bait hook, it's just a 1/0 bass hook. But, yeah, you're just gonna use these for golden shiners and stuff. Just hook them right through the lip. I'll show you what your golden shiner looks like in here in a second. Okay, this is a live bait hook. You're going to probably want, it's a 1/0 live bait hook. Eagle claw is preferred. It's more of a bluegill hook. It's not used for bluegill. When you're hooking a bluegill to catch bass, you're gonna show you how to hook that later. Okay, we're gonna move on to our lures. This is a lizard imitation, but it's not a complete lizard imitation. It's just like a cheap one. I want to Texas rig that. I don't have the stuff to rig it right now, so I'm just going to show you how to use it and stuff like that. And what you're going to want to do with this one is just pull this right through a weed bed, and it'll produce some pretty good action when the bass are slow. Okay, this is it's supposed to be a saltwater lure. It tends to work really well in the lakes around Central Texas. It's a Northern Lures. It's a sand eel, watermelon color, and so want to Carolina rig this one, and slowly, like, you control this one if you have a boat. Not very fast, just like with your trolling motor. Set it to a low option. Just slowly troll this, and or what you could do is just slowly retrieve it through open water. That seems to work very well. Okay, we don't have very many smallmouths around here, but I just want to discuss this. Sorry, voice just cracked. It's a leech. It's a plastic leech. You're going to want to Texas rig this, probably, and just fish it through, like, really close to the bottom. And smallmouths are your target here. They love these around Central Texas, especially like at Canyon Lake, around there. And so, I want to fish this really slow near the bottom. Let it sit every few minutes. And that's it for our soft baits. Now getting into our hard baits. My second favorite lure, it's just a popper. What you're going to want to do with this one is just tie it on. No swivel. Make sure there's no swivel or snap on this. It ruins the entire action. Okay, so what you're going to want to do with this one is just tie it on there and make a fast jerk. Don't reel it in. I'll explain how to do that later, but basic is just jerk really fast. And jerk and jerk. It should make a popping noise. Okay, on murky water days, use that for sure. It'll work really well. Okay, I just want to share a tip on this. I'm pretty sure I already covered this in the first video. But coming up here on spring, the bass are feeding in the shallows and breeding also. So, what you're going to want to do is on the rocky parts of your lake, like the rocky shallows, fish this guy, and you're gonna get spectacular fishing. You'll catch really big largemouths. Do not do this for smallmouths. They're a bit deeper. than largemouths are when they spawn. But largemouths, you'll catch really big ones and a lot of them. They're all going to be in the rocky shallows. Make sure it looks believable too. Okay, this is not something I'd ever use around here. But in the fast-moving streams, if you have those near you, sometimes they inhabit those. Smallmouth and largemouth. And you can just tie this one on and let it drift in the current for a second and then start reeling it in. These will produce trout where you can find them too. This is not preferred color, this is just murky water one. I got this up in New Mexico. I was fishing for trout. Okay, here's a fly that I picked up. It was only like 99 cents for like 2 of them. They work really good around weed beds. Yeah, if it sinks, because sometimes it sinks or floats, if it sinks, use a bobber with it. It will normally sink or float every time, depending on the water. It's weird. So if it sinks, use a bobber with it. If it doesn't sink, fish it near the weeds up top. You'll find some pretty nice fish with that. Okay, now I'm gonna show you some of the baits real quick. The 2 baits, the main baits that I discussed. Both of them are very easy to memorize. Well, there are more than 2, but it's the bluegill I told you about. How you're gonna want to hook this one is you catch these really easy. If you're fishing with someone, I don't think they'll mind if they go bluegill fishing. It's really easy to catch them. You just want to hook them right where their tail meets their bony flesh. Just hook them right there and let them swim around. Don't keep them. You can keep them under a bobber. Make sure they got plenty of line. You want them moving, not constrained. Okay, excuse me just a sec. Okay, my personal favorite bait is the golden shiner. Just hook these guys right through the lip. Just let them sit, and it'll produce really big bass. You just gotta want to use a one-knot, not anything special. Just hook it right through the lip. And for the bluegill, you'll just use the live bait hook, one-knot, right through there. And the only other thing I could think of was, it's more of a striper bait, but the threadfin shad. You could just push these cut up into bits, or live. Live can produce almost anything, so that's a bit of a gamble. In our area, almost all of Texas, if you fish one of these live, you'll probably get a striper, but in spring you'll catch bass and catfish, so it's really not dependable bait, but you'll always catch something on it. Okay, and that's Bass Basics 2 with River King 6. Tune in next time.